watching Gov's Radio. This is where you go if you want to see something or if you want to hear something funny. Coming up in just a couple minutes. This is a joke I told. What? I'm not on Gov Radio? Call the police. Call my agent. Hi.
Tony, welcome to Gov.
Hey, Joe, how are you?
I gotta pat you down though, pal.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Got anything on you? Anything I should know?
I got nothing.
Anything weird going on? What? Alright, you go in, Tony. Good.
Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Tom Kelly of The Tom Kelly Show. Yes, this is not the only time I've gotten on my knees in the back room of a comedy club.
The Knockem Dead Comedy Radio Show is also brought to you by Two Eagles Auto Body. For more than 25 years, Two Eagles Auto Body has been the leader in auto body repairs and customer satisfaction on Long Island. Two Eagles Auto Body handles every type of auto repair from custom applications and restorations to repairs involving insurance claims. Give Two Eagles Auto Body a call and please ask for John Rossi at 516-328-2527. That's 516-328-2527.
Hey, how do you say there, people? It's Johnny Brennan, creator of the Jerky Boys, also of Fox TV's Family Guy fame. I just want to let you know you're listening to Tony on the Knockem Dead Radio Show. They're gonna keep knocking them dead, so keep listening, you wacky sons of bitch. Right there. Over and out there, sweet Charlie.
Long time no see, man. Hey, man, I miss you guys, man, at Knockem Dead Comedy Radio.
Hey Tony, you're not funny and you probably shit yourself a lot and you're no fun to be with and you don't make that much money and you're not going anywhere in show business and I hope you get hit by a bus.
Let's give a big shout out to Tony Walker.
Tony Walker, who's a friend of mine.
Tony Walker!
Tony Walker! Tony Walker, everybody. Stand up, Tony. Where are you? Tony Walker! Thank you so much, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tony Walker. Our favorite. We love you.
Knockem Dead Comedy Show.
Let's give a big shout out to Tony Walker.
Okay. Hi, everybody. It is Thursday. Welcome to the Knockem Dead Comedy Show. Good to see you. We are back after a few days off. Thanks for joining us today. Bear with me as I'm getting a couple of last-minute things done here. But we got a great show for you in store today. We have Frank, of course, is here, like he is every Thursday. And then joining us over here is Tony. Tony, say your last name for me.
Tony Garofalo.
Garofalo. Okay, I didn't want to say it wrong. Tony Garofalo is here, ladies and gentlemen. Leader of the band Strawberry Fields, retired policeman.
Big Strawberry.
And a spy. He's just a man of many hats. So thanks for joining us here today, Tony. Good to see you.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
So you are the you started the band Strawberry Fields, is that correct?
Yep, I'm the we kid around that I'm the guy that writes the checks, but I'm the guy that started Strawberry Fields and
nice.
1991. Yeah, so it's been a long.
Wow, you guys been around that long?
It's been a long run. Yeah. The end of 90 into 91. I decided I wanted to get 4 core guys that I could play. Within a Beatles structure and have the same people, so when people come to see the band, they knew that it's the same guys that they saw 2 months ago. Because cool. I played with a lot of different cast members from Beatlemania, and it was like a blanket. Okay, the Beatlemania is playing at such and such a theater. You never knew who you were going to go see.
Right.
There were a lot of cast members. There was many splinter bands. So Strawberry Fields, I wanted to have the same 4 guys, featuring members from Beatlemania or from the touring company, some association with the Beatlemania. So Strawberry Fields was like a watered down concept from Beatlemania. That was the start of it, and then of course we've been around forever. My wife is sitting to my left, and the joke. Her name is Deborah. Okay, clap.
Yay. Hi, Deborah.
So the joke is, where haven't you guys played? So in this amount of time, we've played. The other joke is that we'll play for the opening of an envelope. Which,
nothing wrong with that.
Right, nothing wrong with that. But we have played everywhere. We've played a lot of the major arenas, a lot of the major stadiums. I've played at Citi Field. I've played at Shea, the original Shea.
Nice.
Yankee Stadium, Citi Field, I said already. We played the Prudential Center just recently. I've been to Fenway. And I did the stint at BB King's.
Right. 18 years, I heard.
18 years, every Saturday, Beatles brunch, put my kids through college.
Really?
Yep. So now we are at City Winery.
Very nice.
We love.
That's the Beatles brunch every Sunday at noon.
Yes, in Chelsea. It's all you can eat.
Nice.
So if you are going to the electric chair and you need a good meal before you're ready to go, that's the place. But it's a great show, and it's a full costume act, look alike, sound alike. Paul McCartney is left-handed, and everything from the Mop Tops to Shea Jackets to Sgt. Pepper to Abbey Road.
All in one show.
All in one show.
How long does it take? Like what do you do in between?
Well,
like when you're changing.
Backstage is a hocus pocus act.
Right.
Usually before the show, we're getting ready and we're putting eyebrows on and sideburns, and we're getting the wigs ready. That you have a little bit of time, but between the sets, the early sets, there's a transition. We really only have about 15, 20 minutes to transform to Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, and I'm saying it like I'm from Brooklyn, Lonely Hearts Club Band. But when we talk on stage, we don't talk.
Pepper.
We don't talk like Sausage and Peppers. We talk like we're Liverpudlian, we're from England. So then we change. We have about 15, 20 minutes, like literally, to change and put eyebrows and mustaches, and then there's a little quick change in the second act where the guys remain on stage. They just take their Sgt. Pepper jackets off, and then I go off and turn into the hippie White Album John Lennon.
It must be something. Like, do you guys do it like chronologically? Or,
yeah.
All right, because you have all that hair. I mean, it must be something
so
to kind of stuff it all in.
All this hair goes underneath, and it gets
That's got to be a
pulled
pain
up,
in
and
the ass.
I have a hairnet, and believe it or not, it all goes underneath, and then I have a hairnet that tightens it up, and then I put the wig on, and it never goes anywhere.
Yeah.
We did a live show on Channel 11 Morning News. This was years ago, and my drummer Gerard, he had just joined the band. He was only in the band for about 2 weeks. Gerard Barberin.
Yeah.
Passed away. We did a live broadcast, and he was playing, and he, like I said, he was the first 2 weeks, and he did something, and his wig went. Whoosh.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And he had a shaved head. His wig went flying, and he sat behind. This is hysterical. He sat behind the snare drum while he was playing with his head down.
Oh,
to try to
get it.
It was like a Three Stooges episode, and he puts the divot back on his head, and he fits it while he's playing. He didn't miss a beat.
Wow. Show must go on, baby.
One
That's
stick
it.
going, and we were looking. Just absolutely, absolutely hysterical. The anchors were laughing their asses off.
That's great. That's really.
Is this my camera right here?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
That is yours right there. Yes.
So I mean, the stories we have over these years, with Beatles, between our cars breaking down and having to get somewhere, up in Maine, or having to go to Florida, or having to fly across the country. We recently had a big snafu going out to Sturgis. We played a big outdoor show. This was 2-3 years ago, and we played to 15,000 people. It was a Live Nation show.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a Spinal Tap moment. We played to 15,000 people in Sturgis. Great, dun da da, last chord, boom. We go off and we go into the dressing room, and we're patting ourselves in the back. What a great time we had. And one guy looks at his phone and says, "Oh, our flight's canceled." I said, "Flight's canceled? Don't freaking kid around. You're a prankster. Get the hell out of here. Stop kidding around." Then the other guy says, "Hey, I just got an alert. Our flight was canceled." Sure enough, our flights were canceled.
At least it's after the gig.
From Rapid City. Now we always leave ourselves like a day in between for another show. What do you think we had on Sunday? City Winery. Can't miss that. That's our residency. We're there. Right. We're there every week, Sunday. So now we're stranded in Rapid City, South Dakota, trying to find a flight. So we couldn't find any flights. So I have this rent-a-car, right? I have this beautiful. It was like an Escalade. It was for the four of us, and to fit all the equipment. And so where we decided we couldn't find flights to get out of Rapid City, to get back to New York. My idea, my brainstorm plan was we were going to drive to Salt Lake City. I could get 4 flights, Salt Lake City. And you know how far Salt Lake City is from Rapid City? It's about a 6-7 hour ride. Wow. So I had everybody go to bed, and I said, "So we're going to get up. We're going to do the car drop off, right?" So I call Budget and tell them. First of all, when I call, there's nobody there. There's a machine, because you never get anybody to rent the car. So I leave a message. "Hi, this is Tony G with the rental number. I'm driving to Salt Lake. My flight's canceled. I'm going to return the car. Call me back if there's anything that I need to do. Here's my number, yada, yada, yada." So everybody goes to sleep. Meanwhile, my wife knows about what's going on. She's like, "Oh, my God, we got to get you guys back. I'll see what I can do." So we all go to...
And you were here, right? You weren't with them?
No, I wasn't
right.
with them.
She was in New York, and she's trying, because she's very good trying to plan stuff on the computer. So we all go to sleep. Phone call rings in my hotel room at like 11:30, 11:45 at night. "Hi, this is Pablo from Budget Rent-A-Car. Listen, man, you can't drop that car off at Salt Lake City. That car is personally owned by the Budget branch here in Rapid City. It will cost you $8,000 if you drop that car off."
$8,000?
If you drop that car off in Salt Lake City, we're going to charge you $8,000 because the car belongs to us. We have to bring it back, and yada, yada, yada. I said, $8,000? Are you freaking out of your minds?
Yeah, right.
So he said the best you could do is go up to Sioux Falls, which is for us would have been like a 4-hour ride. Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Drop the car there off. We'll only charge you $4,000.
Only.
So,
Jeez.
so now we're in the red. We still don't have a flight back. I can't get to Salt Lake City. What the hell am I going to do? I have to cancel the show on Sunday. That's another chunk of money.
Yeah.
Then we have to book more flights. Have to rent another car. So I get a phone call from my wife. There's 4 flights. She checked the airport in Rapid City. There's 1 flight for the 4 of you on American going out at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
And this is the flight number, and there's availability. I said, oh, my God. Are you kidding me? Meanwhile, the band is asleep. They don't know what the hell's going on. So I get on the phone, American, hi, yeah, how you doing? Listen, I got to get the hell out of here. I got to get back to New York. What's the best way? I could fly you into LaGuardia. The flight leaves at 10 o'clock, and you're going to get there. Actually, it wasn't 10. It was a little bit later. But so he says, yes, I have the flights. Good. Let's book them. So he books the flights, and he says, I see you have frequent flyer number. Do you have any frequent flyer miles? I said, boy, do I have frequent flyer miles. I have about 230,000.
Wow.
So he goes, would you like to apply those miles? I said, hell yeah. So he books me the flights. It cost me like $30.
Whoa.
$30 to book the flights. It was like a service charge for the flights. We're booked for the next day. I call everybody back. Everybody's sound asleep now. Hi, it's me. We're not driving to Salt Lake City, Utah. We're leaving from Rapid City tomorrow on American. Deborah found flights. Go back to sleep. See you in the morning. So I called everybody, and that's the big...
But the punchline is that you flew out of Newark and were returning back to LaGuardia, and the truck was in Newark.
Oh, jeez.
So I have a Sprinter truck. Long story, but the car was in Jersey. We flew to LaGuardia. The band is sparsed out all over the place, so we had to get everybody back to their cars. Anyway.
That is Spinal Tap. Jeez.
That's a Spinal Tap moment.
Well, you didn't kill any drummers, though, so that's good.
So I hope I didn't bore you, but that's food for thought for you guys playing in bands. If you're going to play somewhere, leave yourself a day in between.
Yeah, really.
Don't try to cut corners and try to be a smart guy.
Yikes.
Wow. That's
and always carry an extra pack of guitar strings.
Yeah. That's true
and
anyway.
fix a flat.
Knowing how to fix a flat is definitely a good thing. That's for sure. Wow.
That's a. I didn't expect to get into that long story, but
that's all right.
That's like a must.
We have.
That's a must.
It's a 90-minute show, man. Whatever fills up the time. So, all right. So that was actually going to be one of my questions. So, Strawberry Fields, you guys get hired all over the country, huh?
All over the place.
That's fantastic.
We were talking about earlier. I've done tours all over Canada, British Columbia. We've been to the Virgin Islands. I've been everywhere down there. I've been down to the Keys, Florida. Been down to only place I never played was Cuba.
Okay.
Because at the time, and then Cuba was wide open, and now there's a little political unrest again. But would have loved to play in Cuba because there's a lot of classic cars in Cuba.
Is that right? Really?
Big classic car culture.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But I've been to St. Thomas, St. John. I've been to Puerto Rico quite a few times.
All 50 states?
Never been to Hawaii.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I just got a call from the Blue Note about 6 months ago to do a show out in Hawaii. But
nice.
You get calls and you don't hear from somebody. For 3 months, and all of a sudden it's like, okay, the gig is in 2 weeks. Can you guys make it?
Right.
Right. So haven't been to Hawaii, but there's a few states I have not been to. I haven't been to Washington State.
And but it's interesting to me that because there's a lot of Beatle bands out there. So do you guys have like turf wars? East Coast, West Coast.
We actually call them that they're Beatle wars, and this is an old phrase that there's Beatle wars, and
that's not very peace and love.
When I started Strawberry Fields, there was only 2 or 3 bands that were prominent. There was Rain,
right?
And they were in Vegas, and 1964, all great. Former members from Beatlemania.
Right.
There was like 3 or 4 like top bands, and then little by little, there was a guy in Ohio started making the black suits, started manufacturing the black suits. Then Hafner started to amp up their production of the not so expensive Hafner.
Right.
You can buy, the watered down Hafner. It doesn't cost you $3,000; it'll cost you maybe $1,000. And then Rickenbacker started pumping out their guitars again, and because they're all handmade. You usually had to wait like a year to get the John Lennon guitar.
Yeah.
Now they're on the racks,
Right.
in the music stores. So what started to happen is all these Beatle bands, especially on Long Island. When I started, I was the only one. And then little by little, a couple of bands, started, and they all started, to undercut a lot of the other bands. Oh, yeah, we won't charge you,
Right.
$5,000. We'll play for $3,000, or we'll play for $600.
Yep.
So we, depending on what the buyer wants and how much time they want, and sometimes they don't even care if you're wearing a costume. You have to look like Phyllis Diller coming on stage with a Hofner. They don't care what you look like. They just wanna fill their house with music for 3 hours.
Right.
So you have to, when I get somebody on the phone, I want to know that they want Strawberry Fields. That, my first question is, how'd you hear about us? Have you seen us before? Are you bargain hunting for a Beatle band? Because there's many out there, and people know the difference. And hey, I know all the guys on Long Island that are doing the Beatles, and I have respect for everybody. I have respect for everybody, including Frank, for people that get up on stage in front of people with their guitars or their drums or the bass guitar that can play and sing and entertain. I have respect for that.
Sure, of course.
And everybody is in their own little lane. Strawberry Fields is in a different category. It's apples and oranges. We try to do everything between the banter and the costumes, and we try to look like them and sound like them, and we very rarely step out of character. We don't even step out of character, between breaks with people. We try to keep the show very professional, and we let the customers know that you're getting something very special. And hey, you can hire anybody you want, but Strawberry Fields is a special thing. It's my baby. I always wanted it to be, be very special. And
very
the guys
nice.
in the band are all top musicians. I mean. Each guy that plays their part looks and sounds like them.
Sure.
And the special attention. I'll go into the bios of the band members if you want, later on. But
Sure.
Everybody has a resume that is, will knock your socks off.
Well, yeah, almost all of them are Beatlemania alumni, right?
Yeah. They're either Beatlemania alumni or recording artists. The guitarist that plays with us, his name is Ira Siegel. I'm sure everybody knows Ira. He's been around forever, and he's a recording artist. He just did the concert in front of the Capitol in Washington. He does that every year since 2005. He plays July 4th and Memorial Day. But he's on records with Whitney Houston. He's recorded with Madonna, Carly Simon, Luther Vandross, Steve Winwood.
Nice.
Anita Baker. He's played with James Taylor. I mean, he's on albums.
Yeah. That's great.
It's bona fide, verified. He's also from Broadway. He's played in the Broadway shows Pippin. He's been on Kinky Boots. He did a long stint in Beautiful, the Carole King musical.
Oh, sure.
So this guy is a top guitar player and singer. And I'm proud to have him play with us. And our drummer is Michael Belushi. He's a Queens boy and very, very talented, very technical, very talented. Looks like Ringo, plays like Ringo, and he's an original member of Strawberry Fields since I started.
Oh, wow.
And very dependable. I love the guy. And he's been in so many shows. He was in the Big Apple Circus at Lincoln Center for many, many years.
Yeah.
And we saw the show together. It's a great. It's a circus, but it's it's a full production.
Nice.
He's played with Deborah Harry and Chris Stein with Blondie.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's been in musicals by Bernie. He was in Hairspray. He was in Christmas Story. So he's been doing this for a while. And of course, the Paul, bass player, is a lefty. He was from the original cast of Beatlemania. He was on Broadway. And he is a true lefty, great singer, look-alike Paul. I just had people last weekend tell me, that guy playing Paul McCartney is just unbelievable. It's like watching Paul. And, you know, when you've done it that many years and he can pick up the bass, you know, he just had surgery. He was out for a month and he came back and stepped up to the microphone. And
nice.
Don't worry, it was a small little surgery. He had a hernia. It's okay.
Glad to hear he was all right.
He's okay. So that's the band. And that's what makes us who we are. You know, I always want to try to have the best guys. Somebody's that sick, I'll hire somebody as a sub. Also from Beatlemania, we had a guy who subbed for Billy, the bass player, subbed for him for 2 weeks. And, people will know the difference, and some people don't know the difference, you know.
Well, yeah, Beatle people are nutty. So, like, you have to hit the right notes and be, like, you have to be spot on all the time.
You know, I'm
they'll
a bit
freak
of a slave
out.
driver because I'll say, before we go on, I'll say your boots are not shine. Your boots are a little spotty. Or you didn't shave the back of your neck here. You have your wig on, you can still see your own hair here. Or you didn't shave right. Or your jacket's not pressed. Because people who are Beatle fans watching Beatle bands,
they don't miss a trick.
Nuts. They're fanatics.
It's true.
They don't miss a trick.
They don't miss
they know
anything.
they could go see Joe Blow's Beatle band next week at this other theater, and they're better because they look better, or they, whatever. So you try to do, the small stuff that doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't cost you anything to shine your boots.
Right.
Or to pick up a razor and shave, because people are, taking pictures of, people ask us about the boots.
Oh, yeah,
Where'd
I'm
you
sure.
get the boots?
I'm not surprised at all.
I don't see those when I go to Favor, or,
If you
Favor,
say
trying to gauge, right?
you say instead of the, like, Beatle fans will pick that up and they'll be mad about it.
Oh, right.
But the main thing is the sound. And
Yeah.
they say
Yes.
that's the most important thing. Nobody hits those Beatle harmonies like these guys do.
Right.
And the notes and the everything else. And the tagline for this band is "Close your eyes, you won't believe your ears."
Yeah. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's not lying. And I'm not being. Hey, I'm being modest. We want people to get their money's worth at City Winery. It's all you can eat. Pay one price. I want people to walk out and go, "Oh my God, that was incredible."
It's a nice way to start a Sunday. Have a little brunch, enjoy some Beatle tunes, and enjoy
I've
the
seen
City
them when
Winery.
they play B.B. King's doing the same thing, and it's exactly the feeling you get when you finish up.
Because people can't go see the Beatles live anymore.
They
Right?
can't? No, I'm kidding.
Right? Let's face it, you can't go see the Beatles. But it's a chance for you to get into this, zone, to get into this feeling like you're watching the Beatles. And, truthfully, and I've been doing this for 37 years, 36 years.
Wow.
With the Strawberries. The first two songs, people were like... First of all, you see the critics. You can pick out the musicians.
Right. Yeah.
They sit there and they're watching, and they're kind of like, And then you have the other people who are just fans and they're watching. But after the first two songs, it's like the 2-minute rule. After the first two songs, then they buy into it. It's like now they. Of course, we're not the Beatles. Of course, we don't look like the Beatles. But. It's the experience. It's the music. The music's so good, and I'm not talking that I'm conceited. The music was written, it was masterfully written.
Oh yeah.
And if you can play the music and really pull it off, people will be moved.
Absolutely.
Because people remember, Blackbird, or they remember, All You Need Is Love, or I Am the Walrus from some experience they had as kids or as teenagers, or fell in love to one of the Beatles songs, to Hey Jude or whatever. So it's that experience. People, get into the feeling of, oh my God, the Beatle music is, I love Paul, or I love John, or I love Ringo, George, and they get into this feeling, and then they buy into it. And then I know after the first 3 or 4 songs, the people that I've hooked, and the people that are just there, to eat and leave after the first 7.
Yep.
And the outdoor shows, we're doing one coming up next week at Tanner Park in Copac.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we've been there since 2006. We're the only band We are the only ones that have been there every year, consistently every year, since 2006. And we're going to be there Wednesday, July 17th at Tanner. Outdoor, it's free.
Nice.
The place looks like Woodstock.
Oh, yeah, it's a great place, yeah.
It's unbelievable. The people that come out to see us, and, you know, hey, they love the music and they love the atmosphere. And it's free.
Yeah, right.
Free is good. Why don't we...
if it's for free, it's for me.
Absolutely. You want to do the tune?
Sure, if you want to.
We'll get a tune
Wait,
going.
we got to play too?
For free.
For free.
Yeah, we'll get a tune. Then I want to, after that, then I want to talk about how, you know, transformation from cop to all this. So, all right.
So this is not an endorsement, but this is my ovation, my little baby, and
Nice
hopefully you'll enjoy it. This is Frank. He's going to accompany me. I'm just going to take my jewelry off.
Yeah.
Can't play with. So this is John Lennon's. You want to give the?
Okay.
Give the intro on why we're doing this.
Yeah, just very quickly. This is a beautiful boy from John Lennon, and I just wanted to dedicate it to Joey Teller, who was born with the same medical condition that I have, and he passed away 2 days ago at age 18. And this is a song I used to sing to him when I used to hang out with him a bit. So this is for him.
And from my perspective, I haven't played this song since 1998. It was I played this the day after my son was born, my son Anthony, and I had a gig at Rock and Roll Cafe. I don't know if you guys remember that. Rock and Roll Cafe was in Bleecker Street in New York City, in Manhattan. Kind of like a divey place, but it was the happening place. You know, if you played the Rock and Roll Cafe in the Village, you were in. And then there was Continental after that in the East Village. But so I did this song the night that my son was born, and it was very special because it's John Lennon, and it's it's like a nursery almost. It's like a nursery song. So we'll try to get this out, and for all of you who know the song, enjoy. We're gonna try to get through it. You ready, Frank?
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Close your eyes, have no fear. The monster's gone, he's on the run, and your daddy's here. Beautiful, 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 beautiful boy. Beautiful, 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 beautiful boy.
Got my pick. Thank you, Frank.
Before you go to sleep, say a little prayer. Every day, in every way, it's getting better and better. Beautiful, 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 beautiful boy. Beautiful, 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 beautiful boy. Out on the ocean, 7 away. I can hardly wait. See you come of age. But I guess we both have to be patient. Yes, it's a long way to go, a hard road to hoe. Guess now, just in the meantime, you go
Thank you for the emergency guitar pick. Guitar pick.
Oh, you want to keep going? You want to play that?
No, I don't sing it.
All right.
God forbid I tried to sing any Boston. Brad Delp.
Yeah.
That's not easy to do.
God rest his soul, but
Absolutely.
One of the greatest rock voices of our time, Brad Delp from Boston.
Yep.
Anyway,
those first two
warmed
albums.
up. I hope you enjoyed that.
Those first two of Boston albums are unbelievable.
Right?
And a buddy of mine used to go up to Massachusetts because Brad Delp had a Beatle band.
Yeah.
Beetlejuice.
Right, right.
And that band, they never ever. You're right?
Yeah.
They never ever said, featuring Brad Delp. Like, you did not know that the lead singer from Boston was in that band.
Until he opened his mouth and you went,
yeah,
hey,
but
that sounds familiar.
But even then, even if you're an aficionado or something, like most people had no idea. My buddy was a crazy Boston fan. He used to go up there to see them, and he would hang out with Brad. He said he was the nicest guy. But all right, so like I said before, that was great, by the way.
You know what? We're not even warmed up or even awake, but
so if you like that, wait till you see at the City Winery on Sunday at noon with the Beatles brunch with Strawberry Fields. Wait till you see that.
If I could just remind everybody too, if you are fans of Boston, I also have a Boston band. It's the name of the band is New York to Boston, and it's a tribute to the iconic music of Boston. Now, I mean, I don't know too many people who don't like Boston. If you grew up from our era, the '70s. Going into the 80s, I mean, like you said, Tony, the first two Boston albums are incredible. And even the third one, Third Stage, had hits on it.
Yep,
Amanda and Cool the Engines.
Yeah.
Great stuff. And the
kind of went downhill after that, though.
Yeah, you know what? They kind of lost the hit writing, but the guitar player Tom Schultz recorded that whole first album in his basement.
Right.
He had a basement studio, just the drums. He had a drummer come in, and he had the singer.
Right. Oh yeah,
come in to record the vocals. But the music is iconic, and man, I am having a ball, the time of my life. So we're playing Tuesday, July 23rd in Levittown at the Village East Green, or the East Village Green.
Yep.
It's an outdoor concert venue. We're going to be there at 6:30 sharp, and doing a tribute to Boston.
Very nice.
And we're playing with Foreign Journey, so you'll get your fill of the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
Who's going on first?
Foreign Journey. We are going on first.
Oh, okay.
Because we're old, and I figure by 8 o'clock we'll be back in the crib.
Nice.
But yeah, shout out to my buddy Tommy Heaney from 631 Auto. He's the captain of the ship for this band. He's been putting everything together, and I have to give him a big hand because he does a lot of stuff with a lot of music. He has a couple of bands. He has a Chicago band, Make Me Smile, and Vinyl Revival. And I'm proud to be working with these guys. I think you are really going to love this band. It's full energy.
No, that works for me because I have to be in here Tuesday nights around 8 o'clock, so I can go see you guys since it's right in Levittown.
It is,
and then I'll come over here.
Hopefully, the weather permitting. It looks like
very nice. All right, so I want to talk about you are a former retired. Well, former retired, but that's kind of like the same thing. Retired NYPD police sergeant for over 20 years, risen to the ranks of both detective and sergeant in his career with over 700 arrests to his credit, and has worked in the Central Robbery Unit, Narcotics Division, Detective Division, Internal Affairs Bureau.
There you go.
Very well known by colleagues and police brass as the real Sergeant Pepper.
And I've had 17 jury trials.
Oh, my
now,
goodness.
Like the most people be like, so what? What does that mean? Most cops have never even seen the inside of a courtroom.
Yeah, sure.
Because, you make an arrest, they get booked and you never see them again. They make a plea deal or it gets, the charges get lessened, case gets thrown out. Complainant doesn't want to file charges, doesn't want to come to court, doesn't want to follow up. So cops never see the courtroom. So to be in 17, not only hearings, there's all kinds of hearings for evidence, for statements, Once it goes past the hearings and past the grand jury, then it goes, if they prefer to go to trial in front of a jury, or a bench trial is just in front of the judge. Most criminals want to have the jury trial because they want to have the put on a show.
Right.
So I've been in a lot of jury trials, 17 jury trials, and I'm very proud of that because I made a lot of high profile arrests. So yes, I was a patrolman, and I was promoted to detective, which is done on merit. You're promoted to detective. A lot of people think detective is like higher than sergeants and lieutenants. Detective, you're still a cop. You're still a policeman, but you're a glorified cop. Now you're an investigator, and you have a gold shield. So because I had made so many arrests, and I was a good cop, I got into several units that I was able to make a lot of arrests, and then I was promoted, and I got the gold shield on merit.
Nice.
So I was a detective for 2 years, and then there's something called civil service exam, where you get promoted to be management. You become a boss, which I kind of knew from the day I was in the police academy that I was going to be a boss. I didn't want to be on patrol for 20 years because I saw guys that were, with the fat bellies and, standing there getting coffee and donuts, and they're on the same post for 20 years, and they had no aspirations. So I kind of knew that I was going to take the test. I was a good test taker. So I took the sergeant's test and passed. And then there was a cheating scandal for the exam. I had went on vacation and had a study group with a couple of cops, and I came back, and on my answering machine was like, I hope you had a great time while you were down in Jamaica, because the sergeant's list was thrown out.
Oh, wow.
Because of cheating. The people that were giving the tests were making up the questions. There was a investigation where they were giving answers to certain groups of people. It was compromised. So a year later, took the test again.
Oh my God.
It was kind of really fresh anyway, because when you study that hard, and the answers were jumping off the page. So the first test I got 7 wrong. Second test I got 6 wrong. I was promoted in a year. So I got promoted to sergeant, and I was a sergeant 13 years.
Nice.
And I took the lieutenant's test, passed it, but I was in headquarters. I had weekends off. I had a take-home police car, and I was leaving. And I said to myself, in 20, I'm leaving. If I had gotten promoted to lieutenant, I would have had to wait 7 years to reach the top pay, because it's in increments. You get you get 5,000 the first shot, and then you get 1,000 every year, and then the big raises at the end. I said, hey, but how long am I going to stay? I'm not going to stay 28 years in the police department.
Right.
There's no way, because I had music too. I wanted to go and play. So that's what I did. I stayed 20, and I said, you can keep the lieutenant promotion,
right?
Because I was making the money that a lieutenant was making already, and I said,
So
you know what?
You didn't have.
Well, yeah, I had long hair. This is real. I had long hair for the majority of my career. I was in plain clothes. The only times I had to cut my hair was when I got promoted. If I had to go, if I had gotten promoted to detective, I had to go to a ceremony and I had to cut my hair, and then I would get into a special assignment in plain clothes again, and then grow it again. Right. So when I got promoted to sergeant, I cut my hair really short. Nobody recognized me, and then I got into plain clothes again, and because that's how I am. I hate getting haircuts, shaving, and all that.
And when were you a cop? When, like, what were the years?
From 1986 to 2006.
I'll throw it out there because you never know. John Rusiello? Do you happen to know that? No? Okay, he was a city detective, and he's watching. So
okay, hey, how you doing?
You never
I'm
know,
glad
right?
you made it out alive.
Yeah.
You know what? There were 35,000 of us.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
One time,
you
but
never
you
know.
want to laugh? I just went to Virginia Beach, and I went down there to see my son, and my son and my daughter, and my daughter's boyfriend's mom has a friend who is a former NYPD sergeant. So she goes to me, do you happen to know this guy? His name is Billy, and well, I won't give his name, but do you happen to know him? And I said, Yes, I actually do.
Yeah.
Do you have a picture of him? She shows me a picture. I go, son of a bitch.
Yep.
That's the same guy. So she takes a picture of us together, a selfie, sends it to him, and he goes, oh, my God.
Yeah.
We used to work, the decoys. We were decoys in the streets.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's why you let them get the hair. Yep.
Laying around like a bum,
Right.
Just watching people and watching who's going to get robbed or who's going to rob us or whatever.
Right.
So it's a small world. Sometimes I do know people.
Oh, yeah, it happens.
So, I always say, fire away. Let's
Right.
hear the question.
I'm retired from the phone company, so same thing.
Okay.
There's thousands. So I
You have a lot of connections.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Yeah. You.
These are the jokes. This is governors, right?
That's right. And speaking of clubs, are you one of the owners of 89 North?
I was.
Oh, you were. You're not anymore. Oh,
not
okay.
anymore. It's funny when you're an owner of something like that. All of a sudden, everybody's your friend. They call you, hey, buddy, how's it going? Hey, Tony.
By the way, I got a band.
By the way, I got a band.
I'm in the band.
I just put this band together 6 hours ago, and I want to be on stage. This is the truth.
I believe it.
I got phone calls. I just put this band 5 hours ago, and I want to play it at 89. And I'm like, first of all, do you know how much money it takes just to put the key in the door, turn on the lights?
Oh, yeah. I know that from in here.
Pay a staff and the insurance and the utilities, and people have no idea.
Right.
But I was there for a little over 2 years. I had a good run.
Mm-hmm.
The pandemic was in the middle of the whole thing. But yeah, I had a ball. But it was
great place.
It was like anything else. It's an investment. You get in, you make money, and then you get out and you move on. But yes, I was. And
and how often did Del Judas piss you off over there? I'm kidding.
Hey, listen.
I'm joking.
Me and Mike go back a long way. And
he's a good boy.
Let me tell you something. I am so proud. I mean, think of it. Playing with Billy Joel, and now he's very talented. He can sing. Mike, you can sing.
That guy can sing.
You can sing and play anything that I put in front of you. But imagine Paul McCartney coming to see Strawberry Fields and saying, Tony, I need that Lennon voice, on stage with me, or even going up to the guy that plays Paul in my band, saying, you know what, I need a guy who can sing backup with me, and I want you to join my band. I mean, that's like that's an American dream.
That's the dream, right?
For a musician,
right?
So I'm so proud of him, and
that was always the case with you. You got the job as a cop, but music was always the goal. Or?
Yeah. So music was before, during, and after. So the chief. One of the chiefs was Ray Kelly, who's a drummer, who plays drums.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so he was the chief. I was working for Chief Charles Campisi, who was a Beatle fan deluxe and a car guy, a big Beatle fan. I worked for him. He worked for Kelly. So it was always, when there was something like musical going on that I had to do, I'd run it by him. The police department's not the easiest place to get a day off or get an excusal.
Sure.
God forbid. It was one weekend there was a blackout in New York City. It lasted for 3 days. So they said to everybody, you're in uniform for the next 2 days. Now I had long hair. You're in uniform the next 2 days, and there's no excusal. So I'm thinking, I forgot what gig it was. It was a pretty big gig. It might have even been Shea if it was in August. I don't even remember now. But I had to be off that weekend. So I asked the chief. He had to run it up the flagpole because nobody gets off when there's a blackout or some major incident.
Right.
And I worked the first 2 days, and the day I needed, he gave it to me off. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
It's an important thing.
But may as well talk about it since you brought it up, talking about Shea. Yeah, so you guys, Strawberry Fields, the band actually played Shea Stadium.
Yeah, we actually played at Shea Stadium. I mean, there's not too many bands that can say. There was one band that played. They were up in a concession. That was later on, a few years later. But we were the band that we recreated the 40th anniversary of the Beatles at Shea, and we were on the field. And
you did the same set list, or
same set list?
Yeah,
I even played the piano.
Oh yeah,
with the arm.
Yeah. That's great.
I had a Continental, and I played, played the organ on some songs, And yeah, we did the same set, wore the same outfits. And,
all right.
Paul and Ringo introduced you to, didn't
Well,
they?
we'll get to that in a second. Let me just take this call here.
Hey, we got a call. Hey.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
How are
I
you?
had the honor and pleasure of meeting Sergeant Garofalo, and he doesn't remember me, but we were in Forlini's.
Okay.
And I was with a bunch of guys, and he came in with his crew, and I met him years ago. And when he was working for Charlie Campisi, I was working for Bill Morange. And I'm sure he remembers Bill. Bill was the chief of patrol.
Says a lot about you that he doesn't remember you.
Well, he can't because I came on a job in 1979.
All right.
And I didn't work headquarters. I actually answered to a couple of. Everybody answers to headquarters, but I worked the field. I was a real cop. All right, not like these undercover guys.
What rank
was all right, these are. All right.
He's asking what rank you were.
I was a third grade promoted to a second grade detective. I retired as a second grade detective.
Nice.
Got screwed out of first grade, and he probably understands what I mean. I'm not going to get into that now.
Yeah,
but yes, I did meet him, and we were in Fellini's. Does he remember Fellini's?
Yes, I do.
Yes, he does.
Okay, all right. So, and he was very highly thought of by the chiefs. In fact, Joe Esposito, God rest his soul. I think he went to one of your concerts.
Absolutely did.
Yes. Right. All right. But he remembers me if he looks at me, but he wouldn't know the name.
Oh, okay.
All right. And he was an IAB, and I ducked IAB for 32 years.
Yeah.
And he understands that.
Well, it was an offer I couldn't refuse. It was an offer for IAB I could not refuse. So.
Listen. I totally understand, and I have family members that did it. But you couldn't catch me, guy. Listen, have a great show. Tony, welcome back.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All
Bye-bye.
right. See you, buddy. John Rusciello checking in, as always.
John.
I knew it. John knows everybody. So I just had a feeling.
Yeah, that's the truth. And you know what? When the Chiefs and the bosses would come to see the show, they all paid. They all wanted. They didn't want any freebies. But you know how people talk. Oh, he got in for free, or
yep.
These bosses, the Chiefs, they're all smart, and they all paid, and they bought tickets to whatever show I played, including BB King.
And it's the right thing to do, to properly support,
Exactly.
Oh, that's cool. Very nice.
So we were talking about the club, and so I'm out and just trying to play a lot more music and try to branch out into different things. I'm also a classical guitarist.
That's on my list here as well.
You've probably seen a lot of my videos on YouTube.
Let's see, where is it? I had it here somewhere. Classical guitar, mastering pieces by Bach and Beethoven and a bunch of other classical names I don't know.
Fernando Zor and
got me.
Harkazi.
Talk Lennon and McCartney and Joel and Delp. Then we're on and Clapton. And, then we're on to something.
Mm-hmm. So
can we get a little example?
Is
that possible?
It's not a nylon string, but
I don't know a lot of that stuff, but I'm always impressed to watch it.
It'll sound like Baroque style. Yeah, I can't play on this guitar.
Right.
A little Bach, but
That's
yeah,
cool.
I mean, if I had a classical nylon strings, I could play it.
Bach.
That's something McCall always plays too.
I'm sorry, what?
That's something McCall always
Yeah, so you
plays
got
to talk off Blackbird.
Oh, does he? Yeah.
which I'm sure you know.
Yeah.
But
and
Baroque.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it's mostly the Baroque style. But if you go on YouTube, plug my name, Tony Garofalo, and I have tons of videos, but a lot of classical guitar and a lot of the famous pieces, and you'll see the real guitar, and you'll see the real. You'll see and hear the real, music.
Very nice. Do we want to maybe get another song?
Can I ask you a quick question first before you do that? Before we were talking about Shea Stadium, Paul and Ringo introduced Strawberry Fields on video.
Oh yeah,
at Shea.
Gee, how can we forget that?
Yeah, you gotta talk about that.
Yeah, so there's so we're getting ready to play the show, and we come out of. First of all, we were in the dugout area, and we were backstage. Now there's a hallway that runs the perimeter, goes all the way around.
Right.
And we were in the hallway rooms where the Beatles were. So they flew in, did the show.
Right.
And so we're in the hallway, and we're in the same area. You know, one of the old timers was there, and he says, "This is where the Beatles were." And we had Hospo over here, and this is where John Lennon spilled his drinks, and we all laughed, and blah blah blah. So I forgot what I was on now.
Paul and Ringo introducing you.
So.
Right.
So they bring us downstairs, and then the promoter goes, "We're going to go up to the press booth for a second." He didn't tell us why.
Okay.
So we're all in costume, all ready to go. Brings us up to the press booth. So now we're looking out at the Jumbo-Vision, the Jumbotron, whatever they call it.
Was this after a game, or was it his own separate event?
It was a pregame.
Pregame. Okay.
Pregame show.
Okay.
And so we're in the press booth, and we're looking at the Jumbo, and he goes, "Watch this. This is Sid Bernstein, who brought the Beatles to Shea Stadium.
Right.
The original concert promoter booked us at Shea. It was amazing.
Yeah.
So he says, "Watch this," and Paul McCartney comes on. So I have photographs on the website of them talking on the screen. Paul McCartney says, "Hi, this is a great day. We'd like to welcome the band here for this anniversary. Thank you so much for." For playing today. It means a lot to us, and yada 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 yada. And we're all like,
What?
Paul McCartney. And then he says, "It's not over yet." And then Ringo Starr gets up.
Wow.
And it's pre-recorded.
So what? They're still introducing.
They're obviously, they're not. But they're introducing us, and I'm like, I don't believe this.
Yeah.
And so Ringo says, "Hey, peace and love. This is great. Our anniversary."
But you said you have photos. You have a copy of the actual video, right?
You know what? I may have it on DVD somewhere.
That would be one of my prized possessions.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It happened. There was 50,000 people to witness it. But yeah, I have the.
That's amazing.
I have the still photos, and I somewhere I have that recording.
I actually met Sid Bernstein once myself, and it was very strange. I don't know if I ever told you this.
No.
I was at a Ringo show, Radio City. And we had decent seats on the floor, but towards the back, and we're just sitting there watching the show. My friend is to my right, Rob Nataro. And I have an aisle seat. We have the aisle, and then across from us, my buddy's nudging me. He goes, "That's Sid Bernstein." I was like, "No, it's not. It can't be Sid Bernstein. He'd be backstage or front row or something." Right. So I'm telling you, that's Sid Bernstein. I'm looking like, yeah, it does kind of look like him, but... And after a while, like we're arguing about it in the middle of the show. Sure enough, he kind of catches our eye, and he's looking at us. He smiles and he waves. He goes, "See, I'm telling you." So finally, he's looking at us, and almost like he was waiting for us to ask him. You could just see it, like he wanted to talk. So my buddy says, "Are you Sid?" And he goes, "Yeah, I'm Sid Bernstein." My buddy starts freaking out because he's a big Beatle nut. "You're a legend! You're a legend!" I'm like, "Hey, take it easy." Yeah, right. And I actually said to him, I go, "Why are you sitting all the way back here?" He said he didn't tell Ringo he was coming. I'm like, okay. And
wow.
But then he wouldn't leave us alone the rest of the show. Kept talking to us. Whoever was with him, might have been one of his sons maybe, pulls out some weird license plate that said Beatles on it. Like, I don't know what he wanted us to do with it. Like, we're like, okay, great, nice, very nice. It was kind of it was a very strange thing. But that's my Sid Bernstein story.
That's wild.
So
he was. Yeah. He was a sweet guy. He came to several of the shows at BB King's, and he got up on stage and talked about some of the memories he had of the Beatles. Great stories.
Yeah.
And he had written a book the last few years he was alive. It's called, what the hell's the name of the book? It's Sid on the Phone, I think it's called.
Oh, that's funny.
Sid's on the Phone. And it's a great book. He has met and handled some of the biggest stars you could ever imagine. Yeah. I won't tell you. You have to read the book. Like guys like Kirk Douglas, Robert Mitchum.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
Big stars that he's handled, that he's booked in places for appearances at for shows, and
You don't know Larry Russell by any chance, do you?
Sure I do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know Larry kind of well. Him and Sid were very close. He's
Yeah, you're
nothing
right.
but the
You're
nicest
right.
things to say about that man.
You're right, because some of the shows that he used to do Beatles stock at,
Right. Yep.
at
BB
King's,
right.
he would come down. Yep.
In the Bitter End, I think they did it
Bitter
too.
End.
Yeah.
Small world, huh?
Oh yeah, yeah. Larry's a good man. All right. So the so you've
gotta
also
show some of this stuff.
Oh, all right. Oh, you want to do that? My apologies.
my
For
God,
not
we
getting
have
to that.
some-
Yeah, we're talking about Beatles. I can do that all day.
We have some incredible props here.
Yeah. All right. So let's get some of these pictures. Actually, I have a few of these pictures. I think on my.
Let's see what you got.
I think I have. Where are they? Where'd they go? I had them. Give me a second. I don't know what happened to them, but.
Well, while you're looking for,
Yep,
I'll tell.
go ahead.
Yeah, the story starts in 1968, where the movie Chitty Chitty Bang Bang was released. Now, the book Chitty Chitty Bang Bang was a children's novel.
Okay.
Written by the same gentleman that wrote James Bond.
Really? I had no idea. Wow.
Ian Fleming.
Okay.
So, some of the stars that are in the James Bond movies are in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang also. The production people, especially the guy that created the Chitty Chitty Bang Bang car, was one of the technical guys who worked on the James Bond cars, all the tricks of the James Bond cars. He designed the Chitty car. And his name was Ken Adams. And so the Ian Fleming novel was a children's book that he wrote for his son. I think correct me if I'm wrong, Deborah, but I think he died before the son. Something happened where he wrote Chitty Chitty Bang Bang for his son.
Okay.
And I think his son passed away.
Oh.
And didn't. There's something with the story that I can't remember right now, but something happened where he wrote the book and it wasn't appreciated, wasn't received the way it was supposed to be.
Okay.
But regardless, the movie was made from the book and it was adapted, screenplay adapted. And the movie,
it wasn't really a popular book. You're saying that wasn't until the movie that it popped.
yeah.
Okay.
It was written about a car, about this magical car. But
Right.
the real Chitty Chitty Bang Bang was from the teens, like 1917. It was a real car. It was this huge, long car with a huge engine that was from an airplane. And
I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's
Wow.
one that exists. You can see it. It's in Connecticut.
Okay.
The real Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. There's not the movie car Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Right,
This
right.
is a real rustic race car. It's about 20 feet long.
Wow.
Loud and
Yeah.
so in 1968 they released the movie Chitty Chitty Bang Bang from the book from Ian Fleming, and starring Dick Van Dyke.
Right.
So my uncle worked for United Artists Pictures, and his office was in the warehouse. There used to be a United Artists, pretty much where the Astoria movie houses are now. Where they film TV shows.
Right.
The film studios.
Yep, I
That's
know what
where
you're talking
United
about.
Artists was.
Right.
United Artists occupied those buildings. He warehoused some of the greatest props that were in movies, including when they released the Yellow Submarine in Times Square at where the Hard Rock Cafe is now, the Capitol Theater. That was a movie theater. It was a regular theater, and they had this huge Yellow Submarine out in front of the theater. And you know what happens to all that stuff when it's in a movie or on display? As soon as it's done, it gets thrown out.
Oh.
So he had tons of stuff that the movie companies were just throwing out.
Yeah.
So he put some stuff aside. But aside from that, he had tickets for us to go see Chitty Chitty Bang Bang at Radio City on its opening night in 1968. It was Christmas.
Wow.
You can still see pictures online of the promo they did for the Thanksgiving Day parade of the Chitty car with the wings out.
Nice.
So I saw this car. I saw the movie on its premiere with the car parked outside of Radio City on 6th Avenue, and the primary cast members, Dick Van Dyke, Sally Ann Howes, and the two child child actors.
Right.
So for a 4-year-old kid, I'm watching this movie, and I was completely blown away because my mother bought me the toy car. It was made by Corgi. It was a small car, very detailed. And I'm watching this movie saying, I was blown away.
Yeah, it was kind of ahead of its time at
Ahead
the
of its time,
Yeah.
very technical as far as
Right.
the car. The car was gorgeous. And I said to my mother, I'm going to build that car someday. And she was like, oh, yeah, okay.
Right.
You know.
Go
Now,
play, little Anthony.
Now, my father is a garage mechanic. My father, God rest his soul. So I learned everything from him. He was a machinist, and he worked with wood. So many, many years later, this was working on me. For years, I was going to build this car. Now, I went to many, many people with this idea, and it's, what are you, freaking crazy? You're going to build what? So that made me want to do it even more because I was like,
right.
oh, yeah?
Don't tell me I can't do
you
it.
think,
Yeah.
You think this is ridiculous? I'm going to build that car, and, in a couple of years, it's going to be tangible, and you're going to be able to drive in it. So year after year after year, I finally retired, and I had got some money from 9/11, and I just had decided, okay, I'm going to do this. And it was 2010 I started looking for the car I was going to base Chitty on. It had to be a donor car. I didn't want to buy something that was, in great shape because I had to tear it apart.
Right.
But it had to be something, with artillery wheels. You know what artillery wheels look?
Yep.
Almost like a wagon wheel. I had to find a chassis that I could build this car on, something that I can work with, but not too far gone. So
you couldn't get one particular car and start from there. You had to get parts.
What I did was I found a guy in New Jersey who had a field full of cars that his uncle owned, who was a collector.
Okay.
So I go out there. I answer an ad that he had in one of these classic car magazines, and it was an Overland, 1914, like Willys Overland. Before it was Willys, it was Overland.
Okay.
1914 chassis with a title, but if you saw this thing, you can see pictures online that I've posted. When I went out to go look at this car, to me it looked like a pile of gold, but to anybody else it would be like, who the fuck would buy this?
Right.
Excuse my friend. Who
Oh my
would buy
God!
this?
No, it's fine.
Who would buy this? So it was right-hand drive. The movie car is right-hand drive.
Oh, is it? Oh, I don't remember that.
Had artillery wheels. Yeah, because the steering was on the right side, and it was 17 feet long, which the movie car is. It was a little shorter. I had to lengthen it. I believe it was 16, and I lengthened it. I had to lengthen the chassis. Anyway, make a long story short, I'm talking to the guy, and he's like, well, I got this and other. I said, no, I'm interested in this. I said, but I'm going to build this. He says, what are you going to do with this? Because the engine was gone.
Mm-hmm.
He had all the pieces for the engine, but it was, from the...
So you can eyeball everything this guy had and see, okay,
Yeah.
I need I can use that, and I know.
Yeah, because
wow,
I had already
that's
done my
amazing to me.
research on the car, and I already saw the movie. I already saw one of the original. I left that part of the story out. I had already seen one of the original movie cars in Los Angeles from the
Okay.
movie. I went to go see it, and I spent 4 to 5 hours with it and took pictures and measured, and so I pretty much knew the workmanship on the original movie cars. There were 5 of them that they made for the movie.
Oh, wow.
The workmanship is beyond anything you could ever imagine.
Yeah.
That they would build, like today in the movies, they use CGI.
Right.
Everything is, CGI is not easy. It takes
Right.
years
Yes.
to. But
Are those 5 still out there?
there are 3 privately owned. There's one that nobody knows, like where it is.
Wow.
They think it's been parted out for pieces. But yeah, there's 3 that I know of. I've seen 2 of them in person.
Wow.
The third one, I almost made it to Florida to see the third one, and then our car broke down and we never got there. So I was on my way to go see the movie, the last car that was in the movie where the wings came out.
Right.
So to make a long story short, I'm talking to this guy. He goes, so what are you going to do with it? I said, I'm going to build Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. He goes, you're going to do what with this?
Yeah.
So I pull out this toy car. So now it's an 18 scale Chitty Chitty Bang Bang car. It's about that big. And it's pretty detailed.
Yeah.
So I pull this car out from my trunk, and he goes, "You're gonna build that? You're gonna make that to look like?" I said, "Yes, I am."
Mm-hmm.
Right. So fast forward to 20. When did the Hemmings article come out? 2017. Yeah, 2018.
Okay.
Front cover of Hemmings Motor News. Now that's the Bible.
Right.
That's
yes.
the Bible, for car guys. If you get your car on one page of the magazine, it's a big deal. I made the cover story, right? So I get a call from a guy from New Jersey. He goes, "Hi, this is John. Remember me?" He goes, "I'm looking at the cover of this magazine and I'm reading through it." He goes, "Is that you?"
And you didn't mention me once, you son of a bitch.
He said to me,
"Oh, really?" I was kidding.
He said to me, "Did you mention me?" I said, "No." I said, "No. If you remember, you laughed at me and you said this was a freaking joke." I said, "I paid you for the car."
That's it, right?
I'm surprised you didn't. Well, you're not in the article. I'm sorry.
Right. So when you get in the magazine, you don't have to mention me. You prick.
So it's like you never know when stuff comes full circle. He couldn't believe. I said, "If you really read the article, you'll see my picture with Dick Van Dyke. I'm in Hemmings with Dick Van Dyke." So
there's a picture of you. You'll see it up there in a second. It's delayed, but
Right, so
everybody else is seeing it now. Is it the thrill of, because you're a big car guy, is it the thrill of building it, or did you have like a place that you wanted to go with it? Like
it was really a dedication from my mom.
Okay.
When my mom passed, I had always said I was going to build that car, and it was always like it was a special moment seeing that movie as a kid because my mom just got divorced. I was 4 years old, and we always kind of brushed on it and talked about it. So it was really a dedication. Yeah, that's it. So it was really a dedication to my mom, and that's what really drove me to do it. Wow. And when it became, like a real car and it's registered, I can drive this on the LIE if I want. It's registered, it's insured.
How fast does it go?
I've actually had it up to 55.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it's got wings that come out. It's got the horn like in the movie, the snake horn. It's a great car.
What was? So yes,
like a big kid when I talk about this.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I hear you. So, and in building it, what was? Because you're going to build it to spec, and you want it to be just like the movie. So, what was the hardest part to match to the movie car?
I'll tell you what. You can take out a tape measure and you can measure things, but with this car, every time you move 6 inches or a foot, the look of the car changes, the perspective. So. When you see pictures of it, you can go online. The curves and the woodwork and the the bright work, the stainless steel, and I had to source out all kinds of materials to fabricate. The main headlights that are on the front. Okay. Those are fabricated. Those are completely made from scratch.
Oh wow!
Yeah, using brass.
But you were actually able to find it somewhere.
Yeah, I was actually able to find the supplies, and there's little trinkets, little hooks, and little. The gauges on the dashboard.
Yeah.
There's all special gauges. There's an altimeter on there because it flies, so you have to measure the altitude.
Right.
So
what do you think was harder, to build a car or make a balloon version of the car, like Mr. Pop and Twist did?
Well, you know what? Yeah, I know that's a great photo.
Derek's a friend of mine. He's a genius. He lives right down in walking distance from here. Yeah,
he's a genius.
Oh, he's great.
So he came out to Pindar. We had the car out there a few years ago. But yeah, that car, just building it and enjoying it for my own purpose, for a dedication to Mom, brought me out to Hollywood and brought me out to Dick Van Dyke, who inspired so many people to build. There are car guys that are inspired by the Batmobile, by
that's
Chitty,
a popular one,
the Munsters coach car,
right?
But there are people that are inspired by Chitty Chitty Bang Bang and Dick Van Dyke, and I got to meet him.
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to ask. So how did it go from? I guess because being in Hemmings, I guess definitely brings your exposure up. But how did you end up? How did Dick Van Dyke come into the fold?
Well, we had the car in the New York Times also, and
it was even before that. It started with the costume.
Yeah, we went. What happened was I had one of the costumes I talked about my Uncle Vinny.
Right.
Now my cousin Vinny, who I actually have a cousin Vinny, his father, my Uncle Vinny, from United Artists had the clown costume worn by Dick Van Dyke. Had his name in it.
Oh wow!
Had the makeup from the collar, and it's very iconic. It's from the movie. He plays a clown, right?
Right. Yeah.
So I had written to them and said that we're going to go out to Los Angeles, where he would be at a Hollywood show where there's a bunch of stars and stuff. And I had a friend who was in the costume business who knew somebody who was a handler for Dick. So I called him and I said, "We're coming out to Los Angeles. I'm going to bring the costume, and we're going to show it to Dick." So,
well, did you have to fly the car out or drive it out? Like, how'd you get the car out there?
Well, that's later on.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
This was the initial meeting. This was just me meeting Dick Van Dyke.
Oh, so you didn't have the car with you at the time?
No.
Okay.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, the car wasn't
Okay.
completely built yet. I bring the costume out to him. However, it happened, but boy, did it happen. And I met him, and I met his wife, and he saw the costume first time since the movie.
Wow.
And I showed him the shoes. They were wooden shoes that he danced in.
They were wooden?
I said, "You remember these shoes, Dick?" He goes, "Oh, yeah. I remember dancing in these things. Oh, my God." So
wow.
He signed it, and we took pictures. And I had owned the Broadway car. I also owned the Chitty Chitty Bang Bang car from the Broadway musical.
Okay.
That's a trick car. I did not build it, but I bought it. So I had sent pictures out to them to sign just a few autographs of the Broadway car, and the car was finished. It was in the New York Times, and
And you did it.
They were having a homecoming celebration for Dick Van Dyke
Yeah.
in his hometown of Danville, Illinois.
Okay.
And they knew Tony and that he had finished his Chitty car.
I had sent him the New York Times.
Okay.
And they asked Tony to bring the car to Danville, and he basically chauffeured Dick Van Dyke around his hometown of Danville, Illinois, this whole weekend celebration.
Wow.
In Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Oh, that's what that picture was from Danville?
That's Dick Van Dyke's childhood home.
I had written to his wife when we were doing the article for the New York Times, which was a great article. It was like 3 pages in the New York Times about Chitty. I was over the moon.
Yeah.
But I asked his wife, I said, "Can we use a picture, of him?" And she said, "Oh my God, absolutely, of course."
Yeah.
So next thing, like my wife said, we were out at his hometown with the car from New York to Danville, Illinois, his hometown, his high school, and that picture you showed earlier, that was his original home where he grew up.
Oh, that was right in front of it? Oh, okay.
And then fast forward from then to 98 Years of Magic, which just aired in December.
Which is what these photos are,
yeah.
right?
So Frank, want to help me out here?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the.
Got it?
Yeah, right? Here you go, Tony. So this is the first initial meeting with Dick Van Dyke. So that's the costume that we're talking about. That's the iconic clown costume, and that's me with him. And
right.
So this is the birthday celebration that we had. It was on CBS, and
Now on Paramount Plus.
It's now on Paramount Plus.
Yeah,
and
I gotta watch this thing.
This show is up for an Emmy. We're going to find out July 17th if this show is nominated for an Emmy Award for set design and for the best variety show. Because if it is, then we are going to win. We're all collectively involved in this set for this show.
So you would be considered part of the set, and you would get what, a trophy?
I'm not going to say I'm going to get a trophy, but we're going to.
You should get a trophy.
We're going to be recognized as part of the set design.
So you can hi, I'm Tony G. I own Strawberry Fields, and I'm an Emmy Award winner.
You might just see that.
That's impressive. Yeah. And that, they're in the car in that picture, right?
That's my car. Yeah.
Yeah. That was Dick and his wife. Yeah.
I really think that that show's gonna win.
It should. More shots of the car.
That's the car.
How comfortable is it? Comfortable to sit in that car? Yeah.
Hey, it's made for me. It's made for me to sit in. So this is like a self,
that is something.
Self-boasting photo because that's me in the studio audience.
Nice.
I'm sitting there because I wanted to sit close to the car as possible. I was there on the set for 3 days during filming.
Wow.
Make sure nobody touched it, constantly polishing it.
I bet.
But that's Dick Van Dyke and his wife.
Anybody
and
came close to it? Would you start swinging? What would you
Yeah,
do?
oh yeah. So the actor that loved this car the most was Jason Alexander.
Really?
And I have pictures online. He could not keep his hands off it. We took pictures together. He just loved it.
Did you tell him, hey, keep your mitts off my car? Costanza.
And a great singer and a great dancer.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's a great shot. He
That is a
loves
great shot.
standing up in the car.
Well, he's what, 98, 99? He's a pretty active
Yep.
old timer. Yeah.
So they painstakingly recreated the Dick Van Dyke TV show set, and that's part of it. If you watch the show, it's called 98 Years of Magic. It's on CBS Paramount Plus. You can stream it right now. It is great. It stars Tony Danza, Rob Reiner, Al Yankovic. I mean, there's a whole slew of...
One of the best concerts I ever saw was Weird Al. You remember that? You were
Weird
there?
Al.
Weird Al and the Monkees.
Yep.
It's a great show.
And last
All
one.
right.
Yeah.
Oh, so this was the credits, right?
Close up.
Yeah, so CBS gave me a credit that the car was in a dedication to my mother.
What exactly does that say? Special thanks? Right? It has your name there, right?
Yep. It says, special thanks for the Chitty Chitty Bang Bang car provided courtesy of Tony Garofalo.
Nice.
Built in loving memory of his mother, Anna. So
That was really cool of them to
talk
include
about
that whole
full
thing.
circle, right? From Radio City to Dick Van Dyke
Right.
on CBS.
Wow.
And this picture I absolutely love. Having these blown up. So, by the way, these pictures were blown up by my good friend Rick Ruffino.
Good old Rick.
Rick Ruffino from Center Reach. He is a good friend of mine for many, many years, and he helped me to enlarge these. But this is my favorite.
Yeah, that is
He's so-
classic, yeah.
He's so candid.
That one and the one I would think on a personal level, the credits one would be a special photo.
Yeah.
But that one is...
I mean, it's...
that one you'd see in a museum or something right
Yeah,
there. That's
absolutely.
fantastic.
So...
Yeah, very nice. Can we... and you don't have to answer if you don't want to. But can we ask how much it costs to make the car?
Well, it's pretty well publicized.
Is it? Yeah?
Yeah, it costs over $100,000.
No kidding.
To build it.
Wow.
And 6,000 hours.
You actually kept track?
I have notes and receipts, and I pretty much clocked everything, and the amount of hours that I put into it.
Wow.
And you're more than welcome one day to come out to the car to see it. Give me advance notice.
I always have a lot of gas. I don't know if you want me sitting in that thing.
Well, once you come over, we can fly you around Long Island because it does fly.
I would actually love. I would actually love to see it.
But I would
That'd
love
be
to
great.
show you this. It's really something. You can look at all the pictures you want, but you have to see it.
Oh, I'm sure it's an experience. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Have you done it?
No.
What are you waiting for?
Oh well.
Wow.
Don't rush me. Don't rush me.
Wow.
So,
what were you doing that whole time during those 6,000 hours? You're like, get in the garage, or were you happy, or?
My timing was perfect. I met Tony about, 9 months before he completed the car.
Ah.
So that's...
Yeah.
Very nice.
She's not telling a lie. 'Cause I was... The last 6 months was the best part of that car because I started...
I'm Chitty's publicist.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
She's done a great job.
Is that how you guys met?
No.
No.
Okay.
She's done a great job with everything, with the band and the car, and that's what she does. She's
Yep. Yeah, as we were talking
an
before.
entertainment attorney.
Yep, very nice.
And
it was all you, or did you have to have...
So I call it, that's my success team, I'll call it.
Okay.
I'm the architect, but I have
right.
a lot of the car guys you're going to talk to on Long Island. Everybody has guys that they go to for certain things.
Yeah.
So, I'll call myself the architect, like she said.
Mm-hmm.
But I had fabricators to make certain parts. I work with a wood carpenter out east in the Hamptons. I had a guy doing some of the brass work in Sacramento, California.
Oh wow.
Just a lot of different catalogs to get certain parts, and I equipped it with a Model A engine the Overland engine was so far gone and so hard to rebuild, and there weren't any parts available. The engine would have cost me more than to build a car,
Right.
just to fabricate the engine parts. So I went with a Model A engine, a 1928 Model engine, a Model A Ford.
Yep.
And you could buy every screw and every nut for a Model A engine out of a catalog because they reproduce everything.
Yes. Right.
Yeah. So that's got a brand new rebuilt 28 Model A. And interestingly enough, the sound of the car in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, they used the Model A car for the sound, the engine sound.
Yeah.
The Foley sound effects for the movie. They used the Model A engine sounds. I was like, this is great.
Thank goodness, right?
It's better than me, a Model A engine.
Yeah.
So the car is pretty much exact. To my liking, it's the
That's
best
fantastic.
thing that I could have done.
Yeah.
So that's my Mount Everest. I mean,
Yeah.
People have things they want to achieve in life, and that was my Mount Everest. I have two beautiful kids, which I'm very proud of. 28 and 25-year-old.
But the car has cost you more than the kids.
But the car cost me more than the kids. And I did all that at the same time, raising kids and paying for their colleges and all that. So it's got to be a
christening for the car.
A christening.
Yeah, we had a big party. We had a christening, including Mike Pinello and Josie came, and
Nice.
who I hear Mike is coming on the show, right?
Mike's
Next
Thursday.
week, yeah.
Yep.
Mike Pinella, you're gonna love this place.
He's been here before. I think when Joe DeJeju had a show here.
did he?
He did
Oh,
a
okay.
show with Joe, yeah.
Oh, I love Joe. So we had a christening party, and I invited all the guys from the success team, all the fabricators, and Panorama Jack. Do you know him? Panorama Jack.
Yeah, why do I know that name? Who is that?
From Amityville. He's he does advertising. He does skin wraps on cars. He does signs and
yeah.
Panorama Jack Colomesto. So
I definitely know that name, yeah.
Palo Santo, sorry.
Are the kids now asking, Dad, what are you going to build for me?
No, but they don't really. You know what? They don't ask for stuff. We say
those
it
are
all the
good kids.
time. I have good kids. They don't.
Yeah.
They're self-sufficient and
Very nice.
They both got their master's degrees now, and they're all set. And
Sweet.
thank God. Knock on wood, right?
Absolutely. All right, so it is almost time for us to go. That's fantastic, by the way. I love that.
Well, I'll tell you what. Pick one of these out, and you'll have it. I'll sign it, and you can hang it.
Really?
Yeah, of course.
But didn't that? These probably no. These cost you money to have them printed like this.
So just pick one out. I mean, you really have you pick. You like this one here?
Well, yeah, I love that one. Man. Yeah.
See, we're doing this all live.
Whatever. I feel bad. No.
Don't feel bad.
I might go with that one because it's a nice full shot of the car. I'll
And
probably
yeah,
go
me
with
here.
that.
So
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, me in the audience. Okay,
There you go.
then
How
that's
come?
the one.
Why aren't you in the picture? Where were you that day?
She was there, and
Camera shy, obviously.
so we did
Yeah,
this.
true.
We did the filming at CBS in Los Angeles
Yeah.
at CBS Television Studios. She had problems with her back
Ah, well, that stinks.
on the airing day. That looks great up there.
There you go.
Can you see that from the?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, you can see it.
yeah.
Did you need to be open for anything, or is it?
I don't know. Would you tell me? Would that because that's for the sound? Would that putting that in front of it?
No.
Would that affect anything? I have
Not
no
at
idea.
all.
You guys are the experts. Yeah.
That'll actually help it.
Oh, okay.
We'll deaden it even more.
Right.
So you sure that's the one you want?
Sure. Wow, man, that's very nice of you.
Of course.
Frank gets him too.
Wow.
That's a great shot.
Oh no.
I know both of us like. That's very nice. Thank you. Thank you both very
So I'm
much.
sorry we didn't squeeze in more music, but
Well, there's one thing I wanted to do, and then I was going to ask you to play one more song before we go. So one thing I do with all my guests, I look at Facebook and I find mutual friends, and I just throw the name out, and you can say whatever you want about them. You don't have to say anything at all. I have 4 names for you.
Okay.
The first one
Boy, this is really.
no, it's
Hold on.
again. You
Get
just
my face first. All right.
Yeah, right.
well, first name David Clark.
Now it's two Dave Clark.
This is David.
David.
Billy Joel David. Yes.
Yes. Like this.
Yes. Bill, I don't know how else to say it. Billy Joel David, yeah.
Okay, David Clark. How much time do we have?
Because you have nothing but good things to say.
Very. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Very, very, very. You, very, very talented.
One of the funniest guys I know.
Funny, and he's a team player.
Yes.
And I run into him like very often, and all places that I go, because I like to go see music on Long Island. And we were at a fundraising. It was a political fundraising event in like Port Washington a few years ago, and there he is playing the private party.
Yeah.
So I love him. Love him.
Absolutely.
That's a 10.
Without a doubt. Dino Castelli.
Dino Castelli. Okay.
All right.
Where do you know him from?
My son works in film, and Dino works in film.
Yep.
So they've worked together a little bit. Yeah. John DeResta.
John DeResta. Wow, from the Transit Police and New York City Police.
Oh, so you knew him when he was a cop?
Yeah.
Oh, no
So
kidding.
he worked in Coney Island. He was
Right.
he was a patrolman in District 34. The transit precincts were districts, and he was in 34, which is Coney Island.
Right.
And I remember him doing stand-up. He used to go to Pips and Sheepshead Bay.
Yeah.
And then he had a TV show
Right.
for a little while. It was all based on being a cop, being a transit cop specifically. I think it was a little too specific, and a lot of people really didn't get the jokes except the guys
That's
that worked
exactly
in the subways.
it. Yes. Plus, it was on Channel 9. Nobody watched Channel 9.
Yeah. So, but he's a great, funny guy. And when
Great
he
guy.
left and moved out, he's in L.A. now. But, yeah.
He'll be here September, I think.
Oh, you got to tell me when he comes. And
Okay.
Yeah, I'll come down. I'm sure we could share.
He's a buddy. He's been in here a few times.
Share
and
cop stories. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
he's great. I'll definitely let you know when he's coming
Yeah,
back.
cool.
And then the last name I have, you know him as well, Steve Lobmeyer.
Steve Lobmeyer from
Daddario Strings.
Daddario Strings. Yeah.
You went. Did he graduate with you?
Yeah, he's a year older than me.
You're older than you. Yeah, he grew up with him.
So Steve's the kind of guy that will get you stuff, and he's always nice. But I'm not the guy to ask people for stuff. I mean,
okay.
I feel like I feel shy. I feel like it's not the right thing to do.
I'm the same way.
To ask for this but I know plenty of guys that have no problem doing it.
Oh,
Hey,
sure.
Because they call me. Hey,
Right.
hey, you're an order from 89 North. Hey, so,
Right.
like we talked about.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So
funny
Steve's
how
a good
popular
guy.
you get when stuff like that happens. Yeah.
I actually know a few guys from Diodario, and it's always the same reaction from Diodario employees. And I know a lot of people from Sam Ash. I'm sure you guys know.
I bet, yeah.
Tons and tons of people, and I'm real sorry about
Sam Ash.
the outcome of Sam Ash. It was a
yeah, it's a shame.
it was an era gone by, but
Yeah.
life moves on.
All right, so let's get one more song. As you're getting ready to play whatever, I don't know if the breaking news this morning as we're doing the show, Shelley Duvall has passed away.
Oh, wow.
Shelley Duvall, who actually got out of the movie business. Nick Greystone, who does a show in here called Primal Scream, she came out of retirement just like a year ago to do a movie with him. So I think her last movie might have been with Nick Greystone. But yeah, Shelley Duvall, dead at 75.
Oh, wow.
So there you go.
We'll do a sing along maybe if you want. You want to grab your guitar?
Sure. Thank you. Oh, yeah.
Here I stand, head in hand, turn my face to the wall. If she's gone, I can't go on. Me
job, Frank. Give me a high five.
Very, very, very nice. That was great. Once again, we're hanging out with Tony G, the band Strawberry Fields. You can see them every Sunday at the City Winery for Beatle Brunch, and that's at noon.
Tanner Park.
Tanner Park, when was that? Next week?
July 17th, Wednesday, coming up next week.
And where would give us, like, where they can find you, all the socials, all that good stuff?
Strawberry Fields, thetribute.com. Strawberry Fields, thetribute.com. And we're on Facebook, Strawberry Fields. And
what's the Chitty one?
Chitty one is nychitty.com. www.nychitty.com.
Very nice.
New York to Boston, July
Right.
23rd. Lots of good stuff. Lots of good music. Rock and roll.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Peace and love.
Very nice. This was a lot of fun today. Thanks for coming in.
I had a blast.
We'll do it again. We'll do it again. That'd be great. Cool. You guys were coming through with a lot of funny comments as well, so thank you for that. All right, let me see. Let me get through the announcements and stuff we have going on. Today is Thursday. So tonight here on Gov's Comedy Club Podcast, we have Circling the Drain tonight at 7. Coffee with the Dog tomorrow morning at 9. Me and Andy will be here tomorrow at 11. Donversations tomorrow night with Don Sill. So keep it on Gov's Comedy Club Podcast. Remember to share our shows, the links, and hit the thumbs up. Subscribe to all of our stuff and follow and all that social media stuff. We appreciate all the support. And, of course, Governor's Comedy Clubs. Lots of great stuff coming your way at all 3 Governor's Comedy Clubs. I'm going to show artwork right now. Chris Monte's got a couple of shows this weekend at some of the clubs. Siku Ali and Ivory Fields are doing some shows. Don't forget, Gov's Comedy Club Podcast presents Clash of the Islands, Staten Island and Long Island, July 19th. Mike Pachetti and friends with Greg and Rob and Tony Landolfi and Irene Bremis. Joey Cola's got a few dates coming up here at Governor's Comedy Club at the Brokerage and McGuire's. Don't forget our own Andy Plajanos. He's playing Thursday, July 25th, and that's part of the Long Island Laugh-Off, so he needs support, so go there and vote for him. August 8th, our own Mark David Hirschman will be performing a special benefit here at Governor's Stand-Up for Epilepsy. I'll be doing a few minutes at that show as well. And, of course, Knockem Dead Comedy. We're performing a hilarious audience interactive murder mystery show at the Brokerage in Belmore, September 27th. The very next night, Knockem Dead Comedy will be here at the Giggle Room. We're going to be doing Triple X Trivia Night. That's going to be a lot of fun. So come join us for that game show. October 5th, Gov's Comedy Club Podcast presents The Down and Outs with Claudia Sherman and Gretchen Kammer, featuring Nancy Parker, and I'll be hosting that one. And then we have some more dates as well in November and December. We got a lot of stuff going on. Keep it. Oh, and then, of course, this weekend on a Governor's stage, Gaspir Randazzo. I don't know if I'm saying that right. He's performing at Governor's in Levittown. Urban to Suburban show in the Giggle Room. Claire Bowen and Jonathan Jackson from General Hospital, they're going to be at the club. Wellie Jackson will be at McGuire's. So go to govs.com, check out the full schedule, make some reservations to some fun comedy shows. And knockemdeadcomedy.com, find out where we're going to be, and as well as get information on how you can hire us for your fundraiser, your corporate event, your private party, and whatever you got going on. And that'll do it. Once again, Tony and Frank, Deborah's hanging out over there. Mike is coming next week?
Mike Pinella next Thursday, and then Tuesday also we got we're gonna
this Tuesday. With Stuart Marcus.
Stuart Marcus and possibly Harry Chapin's son Jason will be zooming in.
Zooming in. All right, I got to put the Zoom together.
Right.
Okay. That's Tuesday?
Tuesday.
Oh, so with Diane?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, and I think Paul Esposito is going to come in.
All right, cool.
Very nice. All right. Nice to be back after a few days off. Thanks again, everybody, and enjoy the rest of your Thursday, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Hang on. Okay. There we go. See you tomorrow.